I've been discussing the report with our political analyst, Sue O'Connell. She joins me now. Sue, as I just mentioned, parents have the power to move their kids to another district if they choose, but that can't be logistically or financially easy for families if the state doesn't have good public transportation or access to affordable housing.
Well, Glenn, the problems that plague the education system, both in it being segregated and also the poor outcomes, are rooted in the other institutional problems that we have, right? Our neighborhoods, our cities and towns, they're segregated already. And the cost of housing, as you mentioned, hurts everyone, but obviously hurts lower income residents more. So just, up and moving to another district or a better neighborhood is a heavy lift. And to your point about moving to a different or having your child go to a different school district, the skeleton of support, the backbone, public transportation that we would hope would connect our communities and make moving easily around, especially the kids themselves, it's not that reliable, right? So if you add all that together, it locks parents into what they have.
Right, and the only solution around all of that is having good schools in every neighborhood.
Right.
I learned a lot about Medco on this story. First, its graduates have much brighter futures than Boston students who don't get into the program. The research shows that over 20 years. But Medco hasn't been meaningfully expanded since 1977. So is Medco politically unpopular? Is that the reason it hasn't grown?
Yeah, I'm not really sure why it hasn't grown, but there are some things around Medco that people have concerns about, and that's like, what problem is Medco solving? What problems are being ignored, and what's the impact on the students of color other than their education, right? Medco does not make the Boston schools better, right? One could argue that it takes some of the most promising students out of the system, and obviously it helps those individual students, but it also helps those mostly white districts by giving those students a slightly more diverse student body, right? And when Medco students become adults, and I've talked to many of them, they often express the gratitude for the education they received, but they had very long commutes to and from school. They have to have host families in the districts that they attend. And the fact that they move from a majority-minority home to being a minority can also take a toll. So it's a complicated solution, Glenn.
Real complicated problems all the way around this, Sue. Thanks for helping us talk through it. Sue O'Connell, our political analyst. To read the full report and a further breakdown of the stats, head to our website, NBC10boston.com.